Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Sure.
Bit of a successful trip to the Caribbean, but it's been growing over the years.
Yes, yes.
Take us back to when you discovered Daniel as a talent.
Wow. I can't even give you that part.
I stumped you?
Yeah, you stumped me. I can't even give you that part there because it's so personal.
Right.
But from a tennis perspective, Daniel's mom and dad used to send him up to the tennis court because he had so much energy, and it was a safe haven that children could run around
Right.
and get tennis and all the other things that we had to offer up there. We had our little playground. The playground's down in the yard. We had a little white sand pit that the little. Now this is for like toddlers, like. So while we're teaching the grown-ups and the other juniors, the small ones are playing in the sand and playing around the courts and playing on the wall and different things like that, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
But and then that's what Daniel used to do. Your boy was the ultimate nuisance by on the court.
Right.
Running on everybody's court when they're playing and slamming the ball up against the fence 1,000 times, hitting it over, coming back. I mean, he was just a ball of energy. Anytime Daniel's mom or dad didn't bring him to the tennis court, they were in dire straits because he was climbing the walls at him. So that would be his beginning. It was a pure energy,
Right.
Calming situation for him.
And having the opportunity to nurture that and give it.
Our coaches love that.
Oh yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, this energy.
Right.
Oh man, and so he was able to hit like I'll give him like at 4 years old, 3 years old,
Right.
2 years old. I mean, by the time he was 4, we were rallying.
Okay.
Time he is 6, he's playing matches. Of which, at 7 years old, he won his he got in the finals at Frenton-on-Sea in England. And I can remember his first couple of tournaments in Bermuda because I never used to go to his matches. I don't go to any of my champions matches.
Right.
I'm always warming up. I was warming up Gavin, and I was warming up Ashley, and I was warming up Ricky, and I was warming up, what I mean, through the course of the day. I'm warming up all the champs whose times scattered throughout the day.
Right.
So I ain't got a chance to watch my players.
Right.
So even now, to be traveling with Daniel like these years is a new thing for me to sit there and watch, and I don't always watch.
Right.
For example, the final in Bahamas, I went down the laundry. While he was playing the final, it was a hot final, 7-5, 7-5. But he had to do what he had to do because he knows, and I have to be prepared for him.
Right.
And we were traveling to Jamaica the next day, so I knew that I had to have one, and he likes to wear all his nice things, what I mean.
Yes,
so I was the one.
Right. So you take the time out to do the household duties.
I do all the household duties,
Right.
the cooking, because even when it comes to the cooking,
Right.
He comes from a family where they didn't eat meat.
Right.
And so therefore, I honored that. And so therefore, when I'm cooking his food, I don't cook meat.
Right.
When he went to Ralph Nadal Academy, they changed his diet and said, you know what I mean, you need some protein.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So now I'm back around, he's eating it, his parents allow it.
Right.
I go ahead and cook that now, you know what I mean? But I keep it regimented to making sure that it's getting his carbs, it's getting his protein, it's getting his fruits, keep his system, right to the point. We have bar movement conversations. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's important as an athlete. What a lot of people don't understand is about timing and right types of healthy things to do. And that's part of being healthy.
Yes.
Yeah. So if those are on time, you're done your part.
That's right. Like his intellectual nutrition
Yes.
will be the writing of his journal every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very important. You know what I mean? And then it makes me laugh. At first, he didn't want to do it. Then about a week later into it, your boy said, "Hey, Uncle Sam, I ain't even got to remember that thing no more. I got it in my journal.
Right.
Yeah. You know
so
what I mean?
It's a habit. Becomes a habit.
Becomes a habit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And beautiful, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you were departing Bermuda, heading to the Caribbean, obviously 4 tournaments right on top of each other. What were your thoughts going in as far as making sure Daniel was healthy enough to sustain getting through that? Because you're playing in some trying conditions because of the heat.
Sure.
And
You
competition.
just experienced that. Yeah. Well, it was a situation where he was coming from Rafinadal Academy, so he was, and I didn't want him to come back to Bermuda and then take a vacation,
Right.
and then have to start competition after that.
Right.
So because we weren't gonna do the Aruba tournament.
Oh, okay.
That Aruba tournament was a throw-in because of the fact that we decided that we didn't want him to relax too much.
Right.
We want him sharp from Rafinadal Academy. So then that tournament came in. So that actual part wasn't really too much for me to deal with in terms of his, preparing him and because for me personally, the kind of life that I live, I live a natural life. So I'm very much in the heat of the ball.
Right.
I don't run from it. I love it. You know what I mean? It's my metabolism. My brother would tell you. I'd rather be sitting out in the sun than in the shade.
Yes.
So assisting Daniel with all those various climatical realities, like, you know what I mean? Because they're different. Aruba, it was the wind.
Right.
More than the heat, even though it was the heat.
Yes.
Bahamas was the heat, but the dry heat.
Right.
Jamaica was hot, and swirling winds.
Oh, okay.
And then Santo Domingo was cooler. Wasn't as hot as the other places.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the air was thinner.
Right.
So the ball went through the air and bounced much higher. So in each area you had to get used to that, how the ball bounced different, like, you know what I mean? And so I was out there early with Dan every morning. We were the first ones at the courts.
Right.
And just getting used to the climate. And I know from watching other Sanchez Academy students, IMG Academy students, Global Academy students, I mean academies from around the world who are playing in these tournaments.
Right.
And just having serious troubles with the climate.
Conditions,
So it was who dealt with the conditions.
Yes.
You won.
Yes.
Not necessarily that you was the best player,
Right.
in the tournament, like,
Right.
you know what I mean? But you manage yourself the best in the tournament. So
Now, again, well, you played 4 tournaments in a month. Were there any concerns about Daniel's fitness?
No, not at all.
No?
No, not at all. Especially with the regimen and how I allowed him to relax between the times when he was actually playing. We actually used more energy in training.
Right. Okay.
From the perspective that I would have had him out there 3 times or twice in the day hitting.
Right.
Tournament? No hit. Yeah, relax, go in the pool. Yeah, what you want to eat? Okay, pasta? Yeah, got you.
Right.
Yeah, let's go for a little drive. Check out a little something in the country.
Right.
And, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it was, and then it was that pump to prepare him, get him ready, knowing that he's gonna have to dig way down deep inside himself, and then sometimes it was a fall out.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was like half an hour, and we were leaving out of there when we had prepared for a good hour and a half, 2 hours work, like,
Right.
you know.
What type of mental state is Daniel in? Such a young man, got his head on his shoulders, looks comfortable, especially on the tennis court. But what type of mental state is Daniel in as far as progressing in the sport of tennis?
Well, I tell you, he said something to me when he came when we were on the trip, and he was talking about Rafinadal Academy and the regimen, the discipline of it. You know, he likened it unto a jail.
Right.
But he also said that he has some coaches out there, Andreas and Thomas, who have taken to him and they remind him of me.
Oh, okay.
So because he has somebody that's there for him, that keep him mentally tuned in, I give thanks for them guys being there, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because you could easily become a number in those big academies.
Yes.
They normally put a lot of attention into the top players.
Yes.
And they would use college students to coach,
Right.
you know, everybody else that's
Right.
down low, like,
Right.
you know what I mean? So, you know, I'm thankful that and then on top of that, Tony Nadal, Rafa Nadal's coach.
Right.
Moya's coaching him now, so he's putting more energy into the academy, and he has 2 sons in the academy.
Okay.
And not necessarily always in the academy, but certainly in the training at the academy. And so because they are 2 years older than Daniel, Daniel's 13, one of them's 14, one's 15.
Right.
And because of the level of where they are, he uses Daniel a lot. Daniel happens to be in the perfect position.
Yes.
So that Tony will come and Daniel come, he'll take him, you know, pull him aside and he'll train him with his son. So he's getting that opportunity of having like the great Tony Nadal coaching him. So what kind of state does that put him in mentally? I tell you, because of the fact, and you could see it on our YouTube, Dan's YouTube video, because of the fact that we started his traveling early, puts him in a situation where when I'm at the airport, I leave him sometimes, you know.
Right.
Because he knows exactly where he's got to go. He knows the gate.
Right.
He knows that if it's not up on the chart yet, it's too early.
Yes.
You have to check it a little closer to the time when we're leaving. I don't have to tell him none of that.
Right.
He's just traveled so much that he can manage himself.
Right.
And even though he'll be traveling, like when I received him, he was on what they call, what do they call it, man? A minor.
Unaccompanied minor.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
unaccompanied minor.
Right.
So every single country that we went to, when we went to put the passport in the machine,
yes.
it came up, unaccompanied minor.
That started out that way.
That means, yeah, because it started that way.
Yes.
We didn't, you know, our tickets weren't booked the same time.
Right.
And so therefore, I had to deal with that. Hey, do you know? I mean, people like some people have approached me in the street and said, "Hey, maybe are you you know, you forgot your boy, the folks like that there, and blah blah blah." But people don't know. There were times when we weren't guaranteed to make the flight,
Right.
and we were at the airport 3 hours ahead,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm having to run 2 buildings down
Right.
because it's an unaccompanied minor.
Right.
I had to go through special procedures every single airport, man.
Right.
Oh man, we traveled through Miami like, I think we met Miami 5 times.
Oh, okay. Coming out and then going back to another place.
Yeah.
Right.
Coming out, going back, coming out, going back. The only time we went straight was from Bahamas to Jamaica. All the others we had to, you know, Miami, Aruba, Miami,
Right. But
Miami, Santo Domingo, back to Miami. Yeah.
You've mentioned this twice, and it concerns me a lot that the only thing people are remembering is the default.
Yeah, man. Well, it was the last
when he went 4 tournaments undefeated,
3
tournaments undefeated. Taking a title in each one and doubles in one of them.
Well, you know, I guess it must be human nature. I don't want to say it's Bermudian.
Right.
Must be human nature that people remember the last thing, and or people remember the negative thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
In media, as you would know, negativity sells more than positivity.
That used to be the term. But right now, people are hungry for information.
Oh, well, I'm got the information. I'm got so much positive information, you know what I mean? It's just an endless pool of all the various areas that we get involved with. Like for example, I was more concerned about us making the trip because we didn't have the finances than I was with coaching Daniel and making sure that he was mentally stable as we were going in today. You know, I was and improved in the end because I needed that little bit of change that last day. That's why I was going to the ATM machine, like, you know what I mean? Because we didn't have all the money that we would have really needed in order to make the trip that much easier. Yes, we got some assistance.
Yes.
You know, and I'm being positive with the assistance that we're getting.
Yes.
I'm not telling you that I'm gonna come up with an additional 11,000.
Right.
You know what I mean? After I got the 6, I tell nobody that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I go ahead and I put my head down and You know
what
what I
you
mean?
gotta
Do what we got to do. We do extra work. We
Right.
do extra. You know, I would work for people. I would give people lessons. You know, after, like, you know what I mean. I had
Right.
a lady who paid one of my students' mothers paid my airline ticket,
Right.
and then that was forward for lessons that I'm gonna do.
Right.
You know,
Down the
in the
road.
future,
Yeah. Yeah.
or lessons that I've done. You know what I
Mhm.
mean. But it's and these are people that truly have my back. You know what I mean. And I need more people to have my
Right.
back.
Obviously, it is. I mean, Daniel's 13. A lot of growth left in the sport.
Yes.
And it's one of those things where the more we pay attention to a potential champion, because he's still got ways to go. But we can see that.
Yeah.
We need to start paying attention to these youngsters to
Sure.
ensure that not only he gets to where he wants to go, but he could pull somebody else along the way, because that's the important thing of who's next.
But the thing is that he's inspired so many people, and not because of his results, but because of all that he gave back before he left. That, you know, the kind of program that I had Daniel on wasn't just about playing tennis. It was about assisting T.N. Tatum, and I had classes at T.N. Tatum, and he was there assisting the girl. All those girls know Daniel.
Right.
All the boys know Daniel.
Yes.
You know what I mean? From T.N. Tatum. And then I took him up Cedar Bridge.
Uh-huh.
Well, then they knew him from there as well.
Right.
And they took him to the preschools, and they knew him from there as well. So that kind of inspiration is not just children knowing him because they see him on the air doing well. It's because he's had a hit with them on the court.
He's gotten to know them
He's
personally.
gotten to know them personally.
Yes.
So it makes a big difference in terms of, you know what I mean, him coming home and giving back and then receiving.
Yes. Yeah.
Receiving all that.
But for someone like you have a lot of knowledge. You've given a lot to the sport of tennis, but where does this put you?
Well, it like I said earlier, it's easy for me to solicit funds for Daniel. But the thing that makes me really smile and sometimes makes me vex is that, do they think that Daniel is going to go on this trip by himself and do everything by himself, and it's only him that needs the money? I need the money too, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm the elder that's taking care of him. So I need to be fed, but they would give our budget would be, oh, this is Daniel's budget. Yeah, that's for Daniel. No, nothing for you, Sam. You know what I mean? So for me to be doing this, and for people to be approaching me in the negativity rather than the positivity, like for example, after we had done that, I had done a release with the sponsors, thanking them for the sponsorship that they had donated, and gave everybody my email address and telephone number. Do you know not one person in Bermuda has phoned me since, by?
Are you serious?
Not one. Not one. All right. But yet people will be, oh yeah, Sam, you're doing well. Keep up the good work. The young man's doing a great job. You know, this and that and this and that. If it wasn't for you, you know what I mean, this and that. And I'm saying, like, you know, geez, man. This guy just finished winning 3 championships in 3 different countries. And you're telling me nobody wants to come and pink up and get this guy some change in order to make his future journey, you know what I mean, solid. And I mean, his next thing is Road to Wimbledon.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it's going to cost, I mean, that trip was a $20,000 trip. I mean, anybody could do the math. You could do the math yourself. Like, you know what I mean? Airline tickets, accommodation, food, transportation.
All adds up.
All that adds up, man.
Up.
You know what I mean? And it's real, man. So that next Road to Wimbledon trip is going to be another $20,000 excursion.
Right.
And apart from his mommy, who just makes the ultimate sacrifices, you know, working 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs. He's here, dog walking, cat walking, house sitting, RG, Southampton Princess. Hey, man, it's amazing. The extent that she's going to make sure that her son is successful, and she's doing it for the other children as well. Because you got AJ, who just represented in Santo Domingo himself, and Amani, who had represented You know what I mean? In El Salvador, Mexico,
Right.
and other places.
Right,
and,
right.
And it's at Work Academy. So
Mm.
you know what I mean? It's just a constant fundraising battle, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then I've got my Roots Tennis organization
Yes.
that I've just kind of ramped up, and
Mhm.
and Daniel's forte is coming right off of that. Like,
Oh,
you know what I
okay.
mean?
Okay.
Using the business to have my legal paperwork in order.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean? Paying my government the taxes once I
Mhm.
get down to that level. I
Mhm.
haven't reached there, but you know, make my first payment. I think it's 3 months.
Right.
You
Right.
know, after the first time, but yeah, man, the business is doing well in terms of what I'm doing
Mhm.
to bring awareness to tennis on all the various levels.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Will you be
And
back in the schools this year?
never come out.
Okay.
Never come out of these schools. That's where the farm is.
Yes.
And that's where a lot of people don't really realize that is where it's happening, like, you know, in the schools, right down to the preschools,
Yes.
primary schools, middle schools, high schools,
Yeah.
all these online schools,
Mm.
you know what I mean, all the special schools,
Right.
you know. Brent Smith were champion as far as making sure that he opens up that door of opportunity for all. If it's a private school, a home school, or whatever, Brent's been there
Yeah.
and has called me to come and help him out in some kind of way.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And so what people are not really realizing is that because they put a lot of the emphasis on the governing bodies to do all that work.
Mhm.
They don't do that work, all right?
Right. Right.
Yeah, them people work in some other office and just go there
Right.
to, you know, guide the infrastructure
Right. Right.
for representation, like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, say, Bermuda representing at the Davis Cup level, at the Fed Cup level,
Right.
having certain amount of national things that
Yes.
you have to have in place.
Right.
That's not where the development is taking place,
Right,
all right?
right, right.
All they're doing is copying what somebody else laid for them to do, like,
Right.
you know. As a matter of fact, yeah, any dummy could do that there, like,
Right.
you know. It takes somebody really intelligent and humble
Right.
to intuit
Good on in the
to go down in
dungeons.
the trenches,
Yeah. Yeah.
down in the dungeon,
Yeah.
where the little children are, you know,
Yeah.
lay down and collar a person that's hurling a tennis racket
Yes. Yeah.
in order to gain their interest
Yes,
in
indeed.
tennis.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man, and so that's where it's happening. So
Right.
I'll always be there. I'll
Right.
never come out of there. And when they're not there, I'm there.
Right.
And when they come there, I'm there.
Right. When is Daniel due to depart?
In about 2 weeks.
Okay.
In about 2 weeks. It's taking some R&R right now.
Yes. Yes. He just finished back-to-back tournaments on the local soil.
Oh man, another accomplishment
running from pillar to post. Isn't it?
Oh, pillar to post. Hey, the thing is, right? It's so unfortunate that those two tournaments were held at the time that cup match happened.
Yes.
And I understand it. I'm not mad at nobody.
Right.
I understand that cup match swallows up the whole thing. But
Yes.
but people, listen. Listen. It's no way that no activity in Bermuda should take up all of the earth, especially when we got young people coming through the pipeline of exactly what that thing is representing.
Right.
So if the emancipation of the slave is representing opening the door of opportunity for children who didn't have that opportunity before, and Daniel represents those children who didn't have that opportunity before, and now he's doing something that's like absolutely great.
Right.
He should be featured like at the front of the cup match thing, like,
Right.
you know what I mean, as opposed to being isolated because of the fact that we don't have enough media staff to cover both cup match and any other athletic activities.
But you know what? On the real side, we do. They just choose not to.
Well, I'm being polite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm being polite. I didn't stop sending the kind of information that I was sending when I was informed.
Right.
Since I've been in Bermuda,
Yes.
like, you know what I mean? I was sending the same information to the RG, you know, to yourself, to Elmore at Fresh, to MacTan, you know, all the various medias that are out there for us Bermudians to use as
To
channel
know
of communication,
what's going on, yeah.
so that we tell our people and they know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And so really, like, you know what I mean? I really had to come back
Right.
and allow the people to capture what just happened.
Mm.
You thought what he done in foreign was great. Now he done something greater when he came back
Right.
to Bermuda.
To know that he was going from South P to Pomanda Gate, back to South P, back to Pomanda Gate, all in the same day.
All in the same day, the
All in the
guy
same
was
day.
playing a tournament over here at you know what I mean, just
Yeah.
like what you described,
Yeah.
man. And not only that, he played in the men's A division.
Yes.
He played in the men's B division.
Yes.
Then he played in the boys 16s and 18s. He's
Yes.
only 13.
Yeah.
And he won 3 of the 4.
Yeah.
So, Bermuda? Yeah, I couldn't let you miss that accomplishment
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So what we'll do is before Daniel goes, we'll get you guys back.
Sure.
Just to have, get another look forward to
Yes,
what's coming.
what's coming. Sure,
Yeah.
we can do that
You
later
know,
on.
And just so people can hear Daniel. I mean, he speaks well.
Yes.
He talks well.
Yes.
He
Well, we prep him. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Daniel's just
Yes.
talking like that because he talks like that.
Yes. It's
You
been
know what
work
I mean?
done
It-
behind the
it's-
scenes.
The work is done
And you know what?
behind
To
the
tell you
scenes.
the truth, the journal helps a lot.
The journal is the bully that
Yeah.
does that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because when we're going over that, we're going over. Well, what's the 5 mental things? You could call them out. Yeah, motivation, management of process, concentration, visualization, self-confidence. Okay, what's the goal development process? You go over that.
Right.
And then we go, okay, what's the court measurements? We go over that.
Right.
And then what's the thing that you want to do for opening up your business
Yes,
and things
yeah.
and your logo
Right.
and your so the
What
way
you
how
represent.
we talk
Yes.
is like Daniel's gonna have his business.
Okay.
Yeah, Daniel's gonna have
Yeah.
his business, and it's gonna take care of his business.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
But we're gonna remember, it all started with roots.
It started with roots, and we're doing it like piece by piece, right at the bottom. Like I
Yeah.
said, going on an international excursion
Right.
with a phone that only has WhatsApp that you gotta, you know what I mean?
Wait to a hotspot.
Wait to a hotspot in order to communicate.
Yeah.
That's and we're making it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I
Right.
mean, yeah. I think somebody came up to me the other day and told me that they want to get me a phone. I
Oh.
said, well, thank you very much.
Ah.
Next time I go away, the package.
Oh, okay.
The next time I go away, I can go to Digicel and
Get a
get
card.
a
and
card and
yeah.
get a package, and because
Yeah.
I'm learning. I mean, it was something that you gave me that was just priceless. When you showed me
WeTransfer, yeah, the
.com,
files,
and
yeah.
I was able to
Send me the files.
send you the files.
Yeah.
I was able to send it to you. I was
Yeah.
able to send it to Elmore
Yeah.
and anybody else, and all the people that supported
Right.
Daniel, all the 100 supporters.
Yeah.
You know what I
So
mean?
they got to see the video in which you was taking and
Yeah. And it was a beautiful growth,
Yeah.
because in the beginning it was just me talking.
information.
Information,
Yeah.
and then it grew to pictures,
Yeah.
and then it grew to video.
Yeah.
And, yeah,
It's
man.
all part of a process where I believe in if I help you, you help me.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And collectively, we're helping a young man to reach his potential.
Sure.
Yeah. All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good.
Audio Jungle.